In 1620, while the Mayflower was in Provincetown, 18 of its men sailed in a small shallop, searching for a place to live. They came to present-day Eastham, where they were met by a group of Nauset. After a brief but violent encounter, the English left towards today's Plymouth. In 2020, we remember this first encounter. We explore its meanings for today and tomorrow.
Good evening. I'm Debra DeJonker-Berry, the library director here at the Eastham Public Library, and I'm here again with Town Administrator Jackie Beebe, and welcome to our Sunset Series. You know, and when you think about who we are, I mean, our form of government, the open town meeting, and all of that, you know, first, I mean, the pandemic has even, who would have ever thought that, you know, your town meeting would be delayed like it has, but that, you know, this is our forum, and in many ways, I feel like we have to relearn things that we used to know, and the town meeting process and the ability to talk to one another seems to be such a fundamental thing.
And to me, the threat to town meeting, when people talk about changing the very form of government by a governor's act, which fortunately can't be done. You know, we all have to agree to change our form of government. But to me, it is the most pure form of democracy. We don't have another version that's as pure in our country. So I love town meeting. I'm very dedicated to town meeting. And even though for me it's probably the most stressful day of the year, it is the purest form of everyone gets a vote. One person, one vote. We're all in the same room together. That is terrific. What is interesting to me, though, is the variety and the creativity, ingenuity maybe, of some of our towns that have had to proceed with town meetings, and how they're doing it, and how they're doing it with social distancing and indoors and outdoors and all kinds of different techniques that have worked. And that's really great too.
And talking about town meeting, I mean, these segments are going to be aired, you know, around the 4th of July. Yeah. And I don't think there's a better opportunity to think about our form of government when we think about how we got to celebrating the 4th of July. Mm-hmm. And so I think this is a very appropriate time to be talking about that.
It really is. And I think when I was talking to, I just did a community meeting with the part-time resident taxpayers, and one of the things that I said is, you know, gives us a really unusual experience in that we are going to be talking about town meeting and doing the warrant and the budget in the middle of the summer, which we never do. It's always a winter project. And so, you know, as frustrating as it may be to have it be delayed, I imagine that more people can be involved in it because it is happening at a totally different time of year.
Yeah, and it's true that that is a part of the representative form of government, mm-hmm. and there's always those conversations about you have taxpayers who really can't participate as easily.
Right.
But one of the things I think about, too, when it comes to talking about democracy is how, you know, and I'm almost going to segue right into the other part of the thing I'd love to talk about is nimbleness and our heroes. But how what we are learning through this, we keep all these new skills. And one of the things you pointed out, I think, in your talk was that the ability to have these meetings over Zoom is something we can keep. And mm-hmm. so please talk about that a bit.
Well, it occurred to me, and this, it embarrasses me to talk about it because it's so obvious. It's such an obvious fact, but, you know, we go through our calendar year, and my calendar year as a TA revolves around town meeting and the budget and getting stuff done. So we always talk to the part-time residents in the spring and the summer when they're here. And by then, everything's done. It's planned. It's like I'm telling them, this is what the summer is going to look like. This is where we've put our resources. This is the update on projects. And it occurred to me that no wonder they feel left out, because we're planning the summer in the winter and the spring. So Zoom allows us to engage non-resident taxpayers or anyone in the process in the winter, when everyone has more time, I think, a lot of times, to be able to say to them, hey, what would you like summer to look like? And then figure out whether we can afford it or not, but a whole new relationship with them if they want to have it. Because I'm always looking for ideas, and I think our staff is always looking for ideas on how to do things better, and we want to provide the services that people really want.
And, you know, that is the nimbleness and that heroism goes with it. That, you know, that our town was able to just pick up from a dead stop and provide services and, you know, hold selectmen's meetings. And so tell us a little bit about all those acts of heroism and nimbleness.
Gosh, it was amazing. So when the governor ordered things closed, we, like every other town in the Commonwealth, had days or sometimes weeks in order to adjust to that. And I would say within a week, we had, we had bought the licenses to allow us to Zoom meeting, to do remote work from home. We had mobilized laptops and phones and things like that so that all of our business, all of our basic business could be conducted, including licensing, inspections, all of that continued to happen and happened, I want to say, within a week of the closure. We had invested last year in live streaming, which was a pretty significant cost. I want to say it was somewhere between $50,000 and $60,000 to get that all up and running for Mike. But, you know, he came into my office literally on day one and said, we can do this. Like, we can do this. And I'm like, well, let's just do the regulatory board meetings. And he was like, okay, we'll do that for 2 weeks. The same week, we were up and running, and people could participate if they wanted to. So we had all our regulatory meetings going. And then within that 2-week period, he said, you know, I can do more. If you want to do more meetings, we can do more meetings. But while other towns struggled with that, we were up and running very quickly, and it was only because of a few network, and it was a conscious decision that the town made 2 years ago to start improving our network and our ability to do those things, and it paid off so well when we ended up having to do that within a couple of weeks.
Jackie, thank you so much for speaking with us tonight. Have a great evening, everyone.
My name is Joanna Hollick. I hope that you're enjoying the Sunset Series so far. In addition to the Sunset Series, Eastham 400 is also producing a second program called the Campfire Series, which will take place on Sundays in July and August. The Campfire Series is a series of 1-hour-long videos that will focus more in depth on some of the themes that we discuss here at the Sunset Series. The first Campfire Series video, which will be released on July 5th, is a recording of a presentation given by Ian Saxton last fall, in which he discusses his book, The Story of the First Encounter at Nauset. The second Campfire Series video, which will be released on July 13th, is a presentation given by Mark Adams, as he talks about the changing environment and landscape here on Cape Cod. The Campfire Series videos can be found in the same places that the Sunset Series videos can be found, on our Eastham 400 YouTube channel or at eastham400.org. We hope that you will join us for this series. Thank you.